Good morning, James, and this is your morning briefing. Top stories in Google News today. First FT, today's top stories. Exclusive. Senior U.S. State Department officials have moved to mollify concerns about the pace of coronavirus vaccinations for employees, acknowledging there has been some confusion about the distribution of the jabs. In a February 2 memo to staff, Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, said the department had requested 315,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines for employees, eligible family members, and contractors, but had so far received just 47,050 doses, about 15% of the amount requested. Another top story. Coronavirus updates: U.S. surpasses 400,000 COVID-19 deaths. Fired Florida data scientist turned whistleblower arrested. COVID-19 has killed more than 400,000 Americans in less than a year, and infections have continued to mount across the country despite the introduction of a pair of vaccines late in 2020. Rebecca Jones, the fired Florida Department of Health data scientist turned whistleblower, turned herself in to police Sunday night to face felony charge. The majority of Americans say the coronavirus pandemic is out of control. A new Washington Post ABC News poll finds only about 1 in 10 Americans say the pandemic is mostly under control, the poll found. The nationwide survey shows that large majorities of people of all political affiliations say they think the deadly virus, which arrived in the country nearly a year ago, is only somewhat under control or not at all controlled, the Washington Post said. Today's top stories on Reddit. Futurology. Jaguar to become all-electric brand from 2025. Top comments from Toy4. This is a very cool to see brands following the trend and bucking the oil industry. I'm wondering, is it time that we create a standard, worldwide plug standard? Also, for gas stations, why can't they be battery cell charging stations? Wait for it. You pull in, pop the hood, the attendant comes out, pops the self-contained standardized again, sell out and pull the new charged one in. You're on your way. 30 seconds. Then the attendant can go put the cell in the charger for the next guy. Comment from Royal Boss Ross. It's worth nothing that Jaguar Land Rover produce older vehicles in the UK. The UK has set out to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel vehicles from 2030, bringing forward the proposed date from 2040. They're positioning themselves ahead of the curve, preparing for the future. Out of the loop. What's up with Instagram bots doing math problems in the comments? Normally, they write things like, I'm looking for something long and hard tonight. But now I've been seeing a lot of bots commenting multiplication problems. Top comments from Benevolent. Answer: most likely an attempt to drive up interactions on their account to look more legit, so they stay up longer. Most social media automates reporting to an extent, and the algorithms look at numbers to determine what to do when an account is reported, while the horny messages might get horny people to click their profile. Simple math equations are likely to get replies simply because people like to solve problems, especially ones that isn't actually challenging. More interactions from real accounts, less likely the bots will get booted straight away because they look somewhat legit to the algorithms, until human operators come along, of course. Comment from Mikey Wizzle. Answer: to trick your brain into answering the problem 6640. Anyone who answers has now identify themselves as a mark they can target for future use, given the image used, probably trying to sell something adult or pornographic. So by posting on your Instagram, they may generate a number of marks to use from there. A mark being someone who is easily targeted by scammers. Also rude. Edit. I think the answers below are likely more correct. Getting more interactions on Instagram are more useful to avoid a ban via algorithm rather than my explanation of finding marks, though could also be both. Top story from Science. Single issue voters drive senators to ignore majority. U.S. senators seeking re-election flip-flop on bills related to gun and environmental policies, playing to preferences of single-issue voters rather than majority, which could explain why bills don't pass, even without overwhelming support, or even with overwhelming support. Top comments. Debasing the coinage said, it becomes harder for single-issue voters to affect elections when you reduce the preponderance of single winner, first past the post elections. There is a subreddit. When there's more than one party to think about or more than one mark to make on your ballot, voters are encouraged to report more than one single preference. From Corvin. No, bills don't pass because they inevitably become omnibus bills that are more bloated than a 3-week dead beached whale, with the sole purpose of attempting to push through horribly unpopular line items, using the popular ones as a cudgel to beat down opposition. Want to give some money to help homeless children? Well, you must also vote to remove 2A protections. What? You don't want to help homeless children? You must be a monster. Top story from Tech News Today. Millions of Texans without power as ERCOT declares highest level of energy emergency, rotating outages to last longer. Top comments from Decent Advertising. Nice, turning into District 9. From Smiley 510, these are not rotating outages. We have been without power for 15 hours in below freezing temperatures with no confirmed resolution time in sight. Life Pro Tips. Your company didn't know you existed before you applied and won't notice you when you're gone. Take care of yourself. Top comment. Skinny PDSP says, the easiest way to get raises and promotions is switching companies, unfortunately. Get experience and shop yourself to other companies discreetly. The company won't be loyal to you, so don't think they're looking forward for what's best for you. It's always best for them. Alisa914 said, I believe it. I was once in a meeting where a new boss went over with introductions for a team. They congratulated me for being a new hire and said, welcome to the company. I put in the team's chat. I've been here 15 years. YSK and Global Talk top stories are just the same as yesterday. Longevity. Bloomberg quick take on reversing aging. Top comments from the awesome lurker. So cool to see mainstream media starting to take this seriously. Top comment from Griffin90. Hello, Hughes. Thanks for sharing this. This is awesome and unexpected. Everyone, please help me answer people's questions in the video. There's someone worried about overpopulation of 20 billion people. Life hacks top comment. Put an old newspaper at the bottom of your bin to absorb food juices. It also gets rid of bad smell. Top comments from Jack UK Euro. But it's 2021 and nobody buys newspapers anymore. From N Wen. What is this newspaper you speak of? From privacy. Despite scanning millions of faces, feds caught zero imposters at airports last year. U.S. Customs and Border Protection scanned more than 23 million people in public places with facial recognition technology in 2020. Top comments from Internal Farmer 2853. So, are they scanning for imposters or another reason entirely? Azucarleta said, it's really an ignorance of counterinsurgency measures to think facial recognition is purely to find imposters. LOL. They are tracking all of us intentionally, yo. They're not looking for imposters. Limao at the headline. Modular construction. MEP subcontractors exemplify the rise of the new manufacturer. Subcontractors' investment and experience in prefabrication is driving the industrialized construction ecosystem. There's growing recognition today that prefabrication represents an opportunity to transform the construction industry by moving from on-site construction to industrialized construction. Projects can benefit from improved safety, productivity, and predictability.